Hi everyone. Oh, of course, right since I start the video, somebody texts me. Go away. Okay, so I just wanted to do a quick video today, and I might be doing them on Mondays or Tuesdays or Wednesdays. I did a live video just now for my author group, and I figured, well, my husband's got the kids, all wrangled up and not running all over the house. I might as well just do a video for you guys right now too, because I wasn't able to do one on Saturday. So a couple of updates. I'm working hard on Abel's series. I've been brainstorming that for the last weekend or so, the last few days. And I'm very, very excited about it. There's going to be some pretty awesome stuff that happens in a series that either is just barely hinted at in Lizzie's series or you won't know it all just because it's, when you go back and read Lizzie's series, you'll be like, oh, so that's what was happening. I love things like that, where I make readers think one thing and then it ends up being something completely otherwise or else something. What is that? I'm so tired. I actually slept well last night, but I slept so deep that I didn't turn, and so I woke up with hips that are, bruised. Pregnancy is so much fun, yo. Anyway, yeah, so speaking of pregnancy, the complications are still going on. I felt like a guinea pig so much lately. A lot of people are like, try this, try this, try this, and nothing's working, and I do have a doctor appointment today to find out if the doctors have any new ideas about what's going on. The cramping has gotten a little bit better, so I'm grateful for that. And the hip pain from the sacroiliac joint has gotten also a little bit better. Last week was really awful, but I'm not in as much pain now, so I can walk without crying, and that's really good. Anyway, but I don't know, like, this pregnancy's all of them have been different, and I'm just so tired all the time. And I'm not nearly as productive as I'd hoped to be because, sometimes because of the cramping, I can't type, I can't use my hands, I can't dictate because sometimes my jaw will get frozen shut. But yeah, so I've got a doctor appointment follow-up ultrasound today to find out if the baby's growing. They're worried about it. They were last time too, and to find out if the placenta has moved since it was covering my C-section scar, which can lead to hemorrhaging, and very exciting, right? Not. And then I'll just be talking to the doctor about the other things that are going on. But now that I know I've had two babies, I kind of know what to expect. When babies are first born, they sleep a whole ton the first few weeks, and that's when the mom's supposed to be sleeping too. And with my first baby, I didn't. I actually got in a whole bunch of work, and I was able to release another novel in my Colonia series. And but with our second, there's no way. I mean, I was only getting like 2 hours of sleep. And so our second totally disrupted our lives for a very long time. And those of you who've been around for a while, you know that it took a while for me to release Conceal after the baby was born. I think Conceal came out in May and he was born in October. So I just want to give you guys a heads up that it's going to, schedule and things like that. The goals that I have are always going to be affected by whether or not I can actually write and be productive. And I know that with this baby coming, I need to give myself time to, adjust and to heal and to sleep and everything. And so what I can guarantee, because it's so easy to do, is stories for Patreon supporters. I've got 2 of those already, and I'm going to be exploring Abel's past, his enslavement and all that through short stories instead of doing a full-length series on that, basically because I'm itching to get out of this world I've created. I want to start another world. But so I'll be doing that once a month for forever, for sure. And then what I can't guarantee is regular books, including Abel's series. I was planning on releasing them starting after the baby was born, but I haven't even been able to write the first one just because of how crazy things have been. And so I don't want to release one book and then not be able to release the second book for like 8 months, depending on if this baby is a little terror like my second one was, which he's just sweet. He just was sick all the time and very vocal about it. So such a sweet little boy. But anyway, so I'm going to be writing as much as I can now while I am not dealing with a newborn, but I'm not going to be releasing those books right away. And this was a very tough decision. I ended up calling my editor yesterday. We talked for an hour, and my editor's also an author, and she's making lots of money. She's pretty awesome. And talking to my husband and just feeling things out and trying to figure out what would be best for our situation. And so pretty hard decision to make. But so I won't be releasing anything for a little bit unless something miraculous happens and this baby's just like Miracle Baby. I don't expect Miracle Baby. All of my babies have colic, even, anyway. Okay, so that's what I can't guarantee, not until I can get everything figured out, and get adjusted to having a baby around. But what I can guarantee and what I can promise is I will write again. And I was actually surprised I had a couple of readers tell me that they didn't expect me to write ever again after my second baby was born. And I was like, do you breathe? A writer writes. Like, I can't not write. I'm unhappy if I'm not writing, and I can take breaks from it for a little while, but that itch will never go away. It's been too much of a part of me. And, the only thing that would ever happen the biggest change that could possibly happen would be me not writing fantasy anymore, switching to a different genre. But that's not likely to happen anytime soon because I love fantasy so much. Anyway, so I will get back to writing. It took me 8 months after the second one was born. And then after my first, once she got out of that sleep all the time phase, it took me about 5-6 months. So it will be a little bit of time, but it will happen. And like I said, I'll still be writing the stories for the Patreon account thingy. So that's not news I like to deliver just because it's discouraging to me and not fun to give. But, I promise I will write and we will get into all of these stories. And yeah, so Demon of Darkness is available. I don't know if you guys saw that yet or not. I'm not making the official announcement, and that sun's making my eye water so bad. I've got the blinds shut and everything. But Demon of Darkness is available. I'm making the official announcement on Wednesday. There's going to be artwork download bonuses of artwork and logos for the Arates. Earth, Wind, Fire. Now I'm going to start singing. And then also I'm going to do a Coven Chronicles book as one of the download bonuses. I do have a poll for that up in the group right now. So go find that and tell me which book you want me to give. And go grab your copy of Demon Darkness now so that you can get those download bonuses. They're only going to be available this week. And I think that's pretty much it. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. For today, those are my hips hurting right there when I try to move. For today, what I want to do is I'm going to turn this around and see if we can get this to work. But I want to show you some of the artwork my husband has done because it seriously motivates my stories a whole ton. Like I will commission him to do something for me. Sorry, it hurts so bad. I'm on my rolly chair and moving sideways hurts. But sometimes he'll complete the artwork and he'll take it a slightly different direction than what I'd imagined, but it's a better direction. And so it actually changes how the story goes. And that's been really fun. So I want to show you a couple of illustrations that he's done for me. And let's see, none of these are actually ones that has changed the way the story went because he did these after I'd already created these creatures. Just, we first met and I'd already written the book, but there are two illustrations I'm going to share of his that we haven't shared with the world at all, that are monsters that are going to be in Abel's series. And just going off of the way they are right now, I'm like, look, this is a creature that's going to be in one of my future books, and it's pretty exciting, a lot of fun. So let's see if we can get this so that you can see what's going on. That's a little too high. Let's see. Sorry. This is so awkward. How do other people do live videos? Seriously, I can't even tell what it's looking at. Okay, hold on a second. Can you see that? Let's see if I can see it. You can kind of see it. So, sorry, there's my head. Okay, so that right there is an E2 fish from the Klenya series, and I think my husband's rendition of it is absolutely fantastic. When I saw this, actually, this was not the one he did the very first time, but when I saw what my husband could do, I was like, holy cow, I married the right guy. I'll show you the one that he did while we were dating before we were even engaged, and it just blew my socks off. I was like, holy cow, this is the guy. I need to marry this guy. He's way too talented to let go. But that's the E2 fish from my Klenya Chronicles now. And this is the E2 fish's head. Let's see if you can see that. Too much sunlight. Yep, there we go. So that's the E2 fish's head. He just did an up and detailed version of it. Okay, this is the artwork that he did while we were dating. And he did this in like 20 minutes. I'm not even joking. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that, I think. Yeah, so he did that in 20 minutes, and I was like, holy cow. And there were a couple sketches he did before this, just little brief ones where I was like, okay, that's not quite what I was, envisioning, and this is more of it. And like I said, the book was already written, so I couldn't change, but I was amazed at that. Okay, then he did this. This is the Yoon. Let's see. Yep, you can see it. That's the Yoon from... again, Kalenia series, and this is the Yoon's hand up close. And then the Argot, that's in August Fortress. That's, the creatures that live underground. You can see that, this is the ground, and they represent, they look like flowers and bushes and things like that until they start moving, and then they become these jaws of death that destroy and eat everything. And okay, so here's the first of the ones that I looked at. I was like, oh, that's something I've got to use. And I don't know where he got the idea for this from. I actually need to ask him that, but it's called a Shriek, and it's definitely a demon I want to use in Abel's series. The next one is kind of similar to it. The next one's an actual creature created by Lovecraft, but this one, if I do this one, I'll probably not use the wings because the next creature has wings. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I might have wings on them, but this one is the next one. This one's kind of hard to see because I couldn't find a bigger one. But yeah, that's called a Night Gaunt. That's from Lovecraft stories, and they don't have hands. They tickle people, which I was like, that's cheesy. And my husband was like, yeah, but imagine being tickled by the blades, these sharp blades. That's not, you don't want to be tickled by knives, right? Anyway, so I'm going to be using these two, and then possibly he's got so many other monsters that he's created that illustrations, and I'm like, I've got to use them somewhere in one of my stories. Anyway, so those are just some artwork pieces, thingies, whatever that he's done that have motivated me or inspired me in some way to want to incorporate them into my stories. And oops, I just clicked a button. I'm emailing it to somebody. Don't know who. Anyway, so if you have any questions about anything related to his artwork or any of that stuff, then you can post below, and any questions about like what I was talking about earlier with my updates and things like that. And we'll talk to you all later. Bye.